This is Eric Rutan of Cannibal Corpse. You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast with Andrew McKay Smith.
G'day everybody, thanks so much for joining me. I've got a conversation with Sam Bettley, the bassist in Asking Alexandria, to share with you. It's a very quick one. We talk about their new album titled Where Do We Go From Here, amongst some other topics. I think these guys are a group that are going to push for near headliner status over the years, so I was a bit intrigued, I must say, because even though this style of music I'm not a fan of, I quite like the vibe of these guys. But look, you be the judge. You know I'm mainly into extreme metal, but it's nice to mix it up and have some different conversations from time to time, and this is one of them. I do have a tune to share with you. I have selected Psycho from the new album. Let's get stuck into it.
I'm feeling out of my mind. Oh God, I feel so alive. Oh no, I'm not gonna die, 'cause I'm a psycho. Attention's all I need to feed my own insanity. Don't ask for forgiveness, I'd rather watch you bleed. But man, I see my clarity. Something's awakened deep inside. It's like I'm frozen ceiling time, and in my head it's like I'm in a cage. I hide behind the devil's eyes. I lost my faith 1,000 times, and in my head it's like I'm in a cage. In my mind, I'm about to break now. Nothing can help now. Why do I keep falling to the ground? Something's awakened deep inside. It's like I'm frozen ceiling time, and in my head it's like I'm in a cage. I hide behind the devil's eyes. I lost my faith 1,000 times, and in my head it's like I'm in a cage. I'm feeling out of my mind. Oh God, I feel so alive. It's like I'm frozen still in time, and in my head it's like I'm in a cage. I hide behind the devil's eyes. I lost my faith 1,000 times, and in my head it's like I'm in a cage. I'm feeling out of my mind. God, I feel so alive. Oh no, I'm not gonna die. Something's awakened deep inside. It's like I'm frozen ceiling time, and in my head it's like I'm in a cage. I'm hiding behind the devil's eyes. I lost my faith 1,000 times, and in my head it's like I'm in a cage. I'm feeling out of my mind. Oh God, I feel so alive. Oh no, I'm not gonna die, 'cause I'm a psycho. I'm a silent alive. I'm feeling out of my mind. I'm going crazy, 'cause I'm a fucking psycho. I'm a fucking psycho.
I do like what you guys are doing here, okay? I've actually played you a lot on my music show.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Albums, the last album, I can't remember the name of it. I'll play the singles,
See what's on the inside?
Yeah, I think so. I was playing that one there, and I try to have a block of rock. I do a lot of death and black metal and stuff, but I have a block of rock, and you guys are usually in it somewhere. You guys and Corey Taylor are actually in it this last one. So
Nice.
But where do we go from here? Like, what I think for you guys though is that this could be the album that takes you up a notch. You know, like that.
So you've heard the whole. You've heard the whole album.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So I never know. Sometimes I've done like interviews like in Europe recently where we're talking and then halfway through I'm like, oh wait, they've not heard it, but you've definitely heard it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. No, I was listening to it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited by this one, and I think as well that's another reason why I think the rest, more of us are willing and wanting to talk more in the band. It's not just necessarily Danny and Ben that take all the press. Like we've all got something to say on this because definitely. I think you could probably agree. Like, it's such a well-rounded album that kind of covers every aspect of everywhere we've kind of journeyed in our musical career. Like from in the beginning when we were 17 to like Stand Up and Scream, like reckless kind of vibes mixed in with that kind of new sound that we've been kind of exploring with like See What's on the Inside. So it's pretty well-rounded. I'm really excited.
Yeah. I feel like as though there's been a gap there for a while for a band to step up and take the heavier sounds of where Panic at the Disco are going, and I feel like as though you guys are in that lane. Can you understand what I'm saying, or does that make any sense?
Heavier with who?
Panic at the Disco. So you know how they've gone full. You know how they've gone full electro. Yeah.
Right.
And right. They had some heavier moments beforehand, and they had some moments that appealed to an audience.
He's his own thing now anyway, really, isn't it, Brendan? He's like his own complete pop star kind of thing. It's crazy. We've actually crossed paths with those guys quite a few times. He's like larger than life. That guy just doing his own thing always. And I think like you're right, really. We've never really released the same album once. Like if you go back in our discography, it's really truly is. We've been quite stubborn in the past, like where we're just like middle fingers up, we're doing whatever we want, doesn't matter what people say, and it shocks a lot of people and you get a lot of backlash for it. I'm not gonna lie, like but I think this one that we've really kind of for the first time in a long time sat down and kind of, this one's for the fans. This one's for the people that have been with us for 15 years. We and it's about kind of taking yourself away from the canvas and not being too close to something that you've created, where you fall, you become so protective over it. Whereas you stand back and you look at it, and I think I'm honestly more proud of this record. Well, this one, funnily enough, this one and the last one, which are two completely different records. I'm so proud of those ones for different reasons. See What's on the Inside was definitely a time where we all got together, and it was through COVID, like that crazy time where we didn't see each other for months and months, or we just kind of locked ourselves away and created an album that we wanted to for the sake of us. It's like rehab, almost musical rehab. Whereas this one, we're just kind of ready to go, ready to give the fans something they've been wanting and needing. So yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. No, I like it. I think it's great. I think you've done a great job on the heavy numbers. They're crushing, and the production side of things, that's a team effort with you guys, isn't it? Yeah. We've
worked closely with Matt Good for years now. He's done quite a few. Like from the Red album, we went and did the Red album with Matt, which was Danny's Return. And since then, we did like a House on Fire, See What's on the Inside. Matt came with us, and even this one. But this is every time we've done each record. Not only does it sound different, we've created it in a different way too. Whereas See What's on the Inside, we were all together for the whole thing. Shut ourselves away. We're eating together. We're sleeping in the same place. We're shut everyone out. Whereas this one, we all kind of did it kind of remotely, and technology kicked in, and we were able to kind of virtually do this from our homes. We're all dads and family guys now, so which is nice because it's really obviously there's nothing like getting in a room together and creating magic, but the creating side and then like laying it down with production stuff that can happen. It's so easy to send things back and forth now. Like you might as well be in the same room.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Matt's been he's been a huge part of our sound for a while now, and I think he definitely delivered on this one too. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What favorite songs? Do you have any on the album specifically?
I do. It's hard. It's hard, man, because I do, and I start listening to it. They're all. I'll probably say Things Could Be Different for me is it's one of the high energy, heavier tracks. It's got kind of like weird disco beats in the verses. The bridge is just, I can't wait to play that one live just because it's just a wall of sound. And I think it's got elements of James. It is one of James's favorite, our drummer. It's one of his favorites too. And specifically because like some of the production that's used in it is like there's a lot of influence from the film Dune.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, score from Dune. Like Matt was kind of influenced by that film when we were kind of laying this track down, and there's like elements of that with the strings and stuff. If you listen to it again and like kind of listen to it's really cool.
New ears,
and,
okay.
So cinematic and heavy is just, I can't wait to play it live because it's one thing to hear it on your studio monitors and stuff like that, but getting out there and playing it live. Dark Void, we just that's another one. It's a single that we released. People have heard that. It's one of my favorites just because we've been playing it recently in Europe. We went and did all the Europe circuit, festival circuit, and I just went down and it felt like I was back. I kind of felt like I was taken back to a time where like we were a really heavy band, and live it was really kind of we got that back from the crowd, and it was just cool to see the energy from Dark Void too. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
So Dark Void, Things Could Be Different, but then Let Go is completely in contrast to that, is such a powerful song on its own. We did it with, we had Grace Grundy, who she's actually recorded I Don't Need You off of Like a House on Fire, and it never really got the light of day really that it deserved. We didn't kind of take it to radio or anything like that, and it wasn't a single. And so we brought her back, and she did. She's on this one now, Let Go, and I think it's just like so beautiful. Her vocals that are like really angelic with Danny's raspy rock voice, like is just such a cool contrast. So I really like Let Go too. Yeah, different reasons.
Yeah, great. Yeah, a lot of variety there. And look, one for the bass player, since I'm a bassist. Which song do you think has the gnarliest groove? The one you can really sink into?
Gnarliest groove. It's really hard because like a lot of these ones they're so buried. But when I was playing them here, it took me a minute because like Matt sent me a few ideas here and then I'd tweak them and go back and forth. But there's a couple. Probably I do like, again, Things Could Be Different just because it's such a cool groove. It's hard to explain. Yeah, Things Could Be Different because I mean, again, it's one of my favorites, and probably selfishly because for that reason, you know.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. What about, you just talk about bass gear and that sort of thing. Do you have to think too hard about this stuff these days, or do you just have your go-to products?
Honestly, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really easy. I'm super like in the band. Like I'm not a gearhead personally, but I've run it quite basic on live. I go through Axe Effects, so I've just got my my tones all dialed in there. But like for this one, we went through. I just used an Ampeg suite with Dark Glass. And I would go switch over to Parallax, the old DSP. I used that for some of the heavier tones. But the Dark Glass was just, I mean, it's just crushing. It really is. So I kept it pretty basic. I pretty much have 2 or 3 patches live that I use, and I'm pretty, you know, I don't get too crazy with the effects. Got like a grit, got a really warm tone for like some of like the ballads, like Moving On. When I'm like playing with my fingers and stuff, and it's just a bit warmer. But these ones I'm gonna have to step out a little bit because I think I want some more fuzz and things here and there. As you can hear on the album, there's a few effects with the bass, especially. I mean, Let the Dead Take Me. That one starts with drum and bass. Really, it's just and it's like such a crushing tone that I really want to capture that live, but it's going to take a bit of like work for me at home before I'm going to do that to figure out how I translate that to live, you know?
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. Are they your choice of basses there behind you? Because that's a very nice looking white. Is it a Stingray or a Sterling?
It is a Stingray, actually. It's an older one of mine. I can grab it if you want to see it.
It looks stunning. It's
a flat top Stingray. And they made for me, like, this is years ago now. It's so heavy though. And I don't really play it very much live because I did it for a tour, and I never really realized the beveled edge on the front of a Stingray is so important, especially when you play give it some. My wrist was getting ruined on this edge. It's beautiful. It looks great. It sounds great, but it's a killer on the wrist.
No way. Yeah.
I've got a few that are I've got a few that are actually on the way back from England right now. I've got my 5 strings that we kind of got a bit creative on the last album with. But they're lighter than. Have you played the new Stingrays? How much weight that they've taken off them?
No, I've got.
It's crazy.
I've got this one. This is my 5. This is my 5 Stingray.
Yep. Okay.
So the 2006 edition. This is the anniversary one. So that's a 6. They get banged up a bit.
Yeah. They're workhorses though, aren't they? I love them because it doesn't matter how dinged up and banged up they get. Like you take that out, it's just such a reliable instrument. And I've been with Music Man for years, and they're just workhorses. All my texts that I've had in the past are just like, please don't ever change.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
They're so easy to work on, and they're great. I love them. They're just solid instruments.
I know I haven't changed for decades, and I don't think I could at this point.
Yeah. No, definitely.
You get into a groove, and you just think, okay, fair enough, I'm going to stay with that. So
I couldn't believe the difference in weight. The new ones, the new Stingrays that came out maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The 5 strings I've got are lighter than my 4 string.
Crazy.
It's crazy. They've taken so much weight off, and they were heavy, but it's crazy. It's just streamlined it a little bit.
Yeah, they're so expensive though now. They're up to $8,000 Australian, which is probably about five
That's a lot.
Pound. It's a lot of money to go and buy a new one.
I've been extremely fortunate. Like I've got a good relationship with them, and we kind of they send me basses and stuff. But I remember in the beginning when I had like a sub Music Man sub bass, and just starting, and I just never kind of even dreamed of getting one when I was a kid. That it's like they are expensive.
Given one.
Yeah,
no, that's
great.
Yeah. That's great,
cool,
mate. You're doing it.
Very lucky.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Very lucky.
But these things are over way too quickly. We just started, and I know you're going to go to your next one in like 2 minutes' time. So
we did. That's true. I was a couple minutes late though, so that was my fault. I'm sorry about that.
No drums at all, mate. No. Well, just congratulations on doing what you're doing, man. You're doing what all us bass players wish we could have done when we were younger, and you just kept on doing it and made a career out of it. So you're like the 1 in a million, mate. So congratulations for that.
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much.
No worries, brother. All right, enjoy.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Have a good one, man.
Well, there you go. Short but worthwhile. I hope it was anyway. Sam Bettley from Asking Alexandria. Something a bit different. Like to mix it up from time to time. I've actually been thinking of branching out and talking to people about the supernatural and the unexplained as well, but I think it might be a bit of a bridge too far. But if you're listening and you like the idea, do hit me up on socials or send me an email. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so if you like that chat, there are many more longer ones, much longer ones as a matter of fact. The Stuart Anstis chat from Cradle of Filth goes for 4 hours at scarsandguitars.com. You can immerse yourself in a world of conversations from hard rock, extreme metal, heavy metal and beyond. And if you like listening, well, you're a smart audience. You like reading as well. And how's this for a pitch? We all look at our phones as we're going to sleep, don't we? As we sit in bed, and it's the last thing we do. We tend to look at our phones and all the bullshit on social media. Well, how about you give that a bit of a break and you check out my book? I think you like it, and you can always download a sample, and there's some more information to share with you about the book in the moment. But before we get to that, I'll bid you a farewell. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith, and I'm the host of the Scars and Guitars podcast. Until next time, it's a very goodbye for now.
This is Eric Rattan of Cannibal Corpse. You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast with Andrew Mackay-Smith.
I've been the host of the Scars and Guitars podcast since 2017. The first musician I interviewed for the show was David Vincent from Morbid Angel, and things have just snowballed from there. In all, I've posted almost 650 podcast episodes featuring conversations with many of the leading lights of rock, heavy metal, and beyond. It just got to a point where I thought, I need to write a book about all this, so that's exactly what I did. In Scars and Guitars Volume 1, you'll read a heap of deep reveals and commentary, such as Des Fafara talking about Coal Chamber and why the band will never return.
If you're a band just starting out, you need to hear me. Do not start a band with partners. Ever.
Yeah, wise words there. Sage advice, mate, for anybody.
Don't ever, because I can't go do Coal Chamber right now unless I get others involved.
Phil Anselmo talks about the episode in his career which gives him the greatest sense of accomplishment.
I think the staying power of the fans and the staying power of the songs, you know, whether it's Pantera, Down, or Superjoint, the fans remember the songs.
Alex Skolnick from Testament confirms that, yes, playing the guitar in Ozzy's band is anything but an ordinary gig. Will Silent Oz from Dimmu Borgir write a book? Pa from Sabaton gives advice to people who want to start a band.
Look at the team around you, look at the bandmates. If the guys want to be on the stage, then it's all cool. If the guys want to be backstage, then it's not going to be cool.
Current and former members of Cradle of Filth discuss the band's seminal 90s material. Read about the reaction to George Lynch and Mark from Suicide Silence's comments when they throw shade at then President Donald Trump.
We have this idiotic monster, you know, this egotistical, self-aggrandizing, complete piece of shit in there. I just can't understand how we've gotten to this place.
And yeah, we kicked a hornet's nest with Sepultura. Percussive overlord Gene Hoglan talks about recording with Chuck Schuldiner.
Chuck was always, he was very open-minded, and he was into having his musicians that were playing with him just reach out for the best stuff that they had.
Phil Campbell from Motorhead discusses what it takes to get sober. John Five answers his critics who dismiss his tenure with Marilyn Manson.
You know, my name is John Five, and Manson gave me that name, and I had some of the best years of my life in that band and learned a lot. And we get the lowdown on Treyarch Zagtoth from those who would know, including his mother. All across Scars and Guitars Volume 1, there are moments of tension, relief, tragedy, exhilaration, and throughout it all, you'll obtain insight that I believe no one else has managed to obtain from many of your favourite artists. So treat yourself. Scars and Guitars Volume 1 is currently available as an ebook with a print edition on the horizon. Follow the links attached and download a sample. I'm sure you'll be compelled to read the whole book.